Hello, we are live. This is Taylor Talks Comics live. We do this show every week on Wednesday at noon Eastern. If you're here live with us, please drop some comments in the chat. If you're watching after the fact, then drop some comments down below, and we will. I will always reply to your comments after the show if you watch us later on the week. But yes, my name is Taylor. This is Taylor Talks Comics. All the links are down below for my Discord and all my other social media. If you want to see more comic book content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. The banners are back. I've been failing to do that lately. But yes, you can shop over at Panelbound Comics. Use my promo code Taylor Talks Comics, all one word, Taylor Talks Comics, and that'll save $2 off of your order. Or if you plan on ordering 4 or more books at Panelbound Comics, bigger order, you can get bigger savings with TTC Ship It Together. That's all one word, TTC Ship It Together. Save 5% off your order there. And then also don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. Super chats are always welcome and super appreciated. So I do want to show off some Kickstarters real fast too. So let's bring those up. So this is Bang, Ballad of the Tiger. We talked to Josh Greathouse last week about this. He's got 56 backers so far, 22 days to go. He is at, there's no percentage on the screen, but I think it's just over 54, 55%-ish. Well, 50% would be what? 1750. So he's over 50%, 55% maybe. But regardless, he's not met his goal yet, and we need to help him out. So back this project. If you're overseas and you don't want to pay for shipping, there are digital PDF versions available on this project. So check that out as well. If you want to see more of Bang, I did a video on it, showing it off in great detail for the first 2 volumes. This Kickstarter is for the 3rd volume, and but you can pick up all 3 volumes through the Kickstarter. It's just a launching of the 3rd volume. So if you need volumes 1, 2, and 3, they are available through that. So this is Ocho, my favorite part, 228-page trade paperback. Ocho is an alien from a far-off planet sent to help and assimilate to the human condition. In this arc, Ocho gets a girlfriend. So this is, he's met his goal. Eric Mangle has met his goal here. He's got 30 backers, 2018. Sorry, his goal was 2,500. He's got $815. I can't talk today. But this is a long, ongoing mini comic series that's been self-published since the mid-90s. And I will have my video showing off Ocho. I've got my favorite part, the exact book that he is showing off, or he is selling in his Kickstarter. My video for that will drop Friday morning. My review of that, if you want to get a closer look in the interiors. We got 11 days to go, so a little less than 2 weeks there if you want to back that. Really, really great stuff there. And then the last one, the Marc Maron graphic novel with Z2 Comics. So I wanted to talk about this last week, but we got cut short because, I was talking to Josh too long. That's what it was. But this has not launched yet. It's notify me of launch. And it's already been funded, they said. So the book's going to be made regardless. I think the Kickstarter is just going to come with some extras. I think there's even some memorabilia from Marc Maron's studio with the WTF podcast available as some of the perks you can purchase with the Kickstarter. But Box Brown's awesome. I highly recommend a lot of his books. His Tetris book about the history of Tetris sounds boring, but I'm telling you, it's super thrilling. He did a biography comic about Andre the Giant, one about Andy Kaufman, one about Vladimir Putin and how he became to power. And he did a Child Star. It's like a fictional comic about a child actor, child star. Oh, he also recently did the He-Man and the toys, like the history of the 80s toys comic. And then he did publish a print version, but he's still working on more of this. It seems to be like his daily strips or weekly. I don't know how often he does them, about the legalization of marijuana. is a comic that he's been working on also. So he's an awesome cartoonist, great storyteller, especially with nonfiction material. So this will be really, really great. Marc Maron is hilarious, one of the great podcasters ever. So, and it does look like, based on the picture, there will be a hardcover and softcover version of that. Okay, so this segment of the show, I just show off cool comics that are coming out that caught my eye. If there's any comics that are coming out in the future, by all means, drop it in the chat or the comments, and I can show them off on the show. I'm not totally aware of every single comic coming out. I just like to show off the ones that I think look cool and talk about them. So this is Liam Sharp brings back Spawn the Dark Ages with a gritty new miniseries. I'm a huge Liam Sharp fan. I loved his and Grant Morrison's run on Green Lantern. And then he was working on a Conan series for Titan. And for whatever reason, Conan's been doing big for Titan right now. Like with the Jim Zub run and all the other reprints of the old stuff. I have no idea why they eventually told Liam Sharp to stop working on the Conan series and then they're not going to do it. I think that might be like they might still be printing it in some format, one or another. But Liam Sharp artwork on Conan is like mind-blowingly amazing as an idea. He showed some of the pages that he'd worked on previously. I think I might even show those off on a way long ago old episode of Taylor Talks Comics Live. But regardless, I love his artwork. So now he's working on Spawn the Dark Ages, which is kind of that same sword and sorcery style comic. And there is some artwork they show off here. Maybe. Here's the cover. But Liam Sharp's artwork is just absolutely amazing. If you want to see the true range of what he can do with art too, like because he's got some range. He can work in a million different styles. Then this is a Ryan Brown variant cover there. Just read that Green Lantern series that he did with Grant Morrison, and he works in like every style imaginable throughout the entire run. We still need that series to be put into an absolute or omnibus edition for sure. So you don't get to see too many interiors, but Liam Sharp is writing and drawing this, which is cool. And Todd McFarlane says, I've been waiting a long time to get Liam back on this book. His vision for the Dark Ages Spawn wowed me decades ago, and I couldn't be more excited for fans to finally see his return. Expect stories that are gritty, dangerous, and unflinching, because survival in this world is anything but guaranteed. So I've never actually read the original Spawn Dark Ages that Liam Sharp did. I need to hunt that down. Have they done a collected edition, perhaps? But regardless, I'm super stoked for that. And then we have some more details on the Steve Ditko Amazing Spider-Man Artist Edition from Act 4 / Skybound. So let me pull this up. It's coming from AIPT comics.com. So they announced it at they announced it at San Diego Comic-Con. This will be arriving May 2026 and kicks off a multi-book collaboration with Marvel Comics. So the oversight, oh wow. This is going to be 15 by 22. Holy shnikes. That's like, I think that's as big as the Batman Year One Artist Edition, which is amazing and huge. Because that was the paper they were working on. Marvel was, they didn't move to 11 by 17 until later in the 60s, I believe. So it's going to be true to size to the artwork that Steve Ditko was working on. And it's going to include every page of Amazing I can't even get it out. I'm so amazed. Every page of Amazing Fantasy 15, which is Spider-Man's debut, and Amazing Spider-Man 33, often hailed as Ditko's masterpiece. Alongside these classic tales, readers will find dozens of splash pages, story pages, covers, and even rare, never-before-seen illustrations from the early 60s, all scanned directly from the original art. So I talked about this on the video I did with the book Spider-Man Panel by Panel. That was the first time I'd ever seen the original art pages for Amazing Fantasy 15. They included every page in there, which is awesome. Those pages are at the Library of Congress. An anonymous donor donated them to the Library of Congress, and every page is there. You can go there and pull them out and look at them. And apparently they let Scott Dunbier scan those pages in for this project, which is amazing. I'm so glad they did that. That was the exact thing I said when I was reviewing that book, was that I hoped Scott Dunbier can get his hands on these pages. So it'll include 2 full issues, Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man 33. And here's the cover. We saw that before. And there's an alternate cover, which we have not seen, or at least I've not shown on my show, which is is that the issue? What cover is that? I don't know what issue number that is. That's not 33, is it? But it's cool that you see all those little heads, Steve Ditko drawing all over there, which Steve Ditko did invent the corner box. So I like the Steve Ditko logo there, too, at the top left. It's like a silhouette. Because Steve Ditko often didn't like his picture being taken. So this is amazing. I can't wait for that. And then one more comic I'm going to show off. This is coming from bleedingcool.com. Is two franchises I love that I didn't know ever needed a mashup, but it'll be Archie and Army of Darkness. We'll be having a crossover through Dynamite Comics. There's already an ongoing Archie, Betty, Veronica. Betty and Veronica meet Red Sonja and Vampirella crossover that Dynamite has done. And this will be Archie and the Army of Darkness. There's no images yet of the art or anything. This is merely an announcement, but it will be interesting. Does it say the creative team on this? I don't even know if they've announced the artist. By Imichu, Nick Barucci. See, I don't think they've announced the creative team just yet, but that's an interesting pairing. Archie and Army of Darkness. Matthew Allison's new comic is available now. And it said it's available on his eBay store, and he sent me a link. But Matthew Allison, he did a Cankor, which was an amazing comic. I got the hardcover. I think that was a Kickstarter. If it wasn't Kickstarter, it was some other crowdfunder. And okay, Harvey Picar's Ghost is saying that Matthew Allison is selling it through his eBay store because they can do international sales easier. So that's nice. Matt Allison notices he has a lot of international readers. Is it? Oh, Sweet Sepulture? Is that what it is? Number one? Yes, it's $7.99. All right, I can share my screen. If you're not familiar with Matthew Allison's work, though, check out Cankor. Absolutely amazing artist. That comic was crazy because I thought it was just gonna be a cool art comic that didn't have a lot of. It wasn't very a literary masterpiece. It was just a cool art kind of comic, but actually blew me away with the story in there. It was kind of mind blowing how he kind of flips it on its head. I need to do a video on Cankor. But this is Sweet Sepulture number one, $7.99. Here's some of the artwork. Matthew Allison. There's the cover. Oh, there's the front cover and back cover. His art is awesome. And he also has on his store options to buy this with a copy of Cankor, the hardcover. Oh, you can get signed and unsigned copies. How much is a signed copy? The signed copy is only $12.99. Not bad. What's the shipping on this bad boy? $5.99 shipping. All right. I might have to check that out. I think the alternate Ditko cover was a pinup in an annual. Okay, that makes sense. Which I think that's probably a lot of what will be in the book too, is those pinups that Ditko did. Oh, some Fantagraphics books popped up. Let's go over those. So I went over the Fantagraphics catalog, as I do every time there's a new catalog. But after the catalog gets posted, there's some Fantagraphics Undergrounds, which is like their imprint, where they do small print run. So the first one is called My Year in Vietnam, which instantly hooks me. This coming out Veterans Day. Sounds like that might be on purpose. But it's the day after my birthday even, which that week there's a lot of good comics coming out, which is cool. But the myth of Pax Americana is revealed in Vietnam vet George Ryan's harrowing story, illustrated by Eve Gilbert. So it's supposed to be $30, 136 pages. It'll be paperback, full color, 8.6 by 11.1. So since this is Fantagraphics Underground and it has a smaller print run, they usually do carry a higher cover price on that. But this seems super interesting. So ultimately, My Year in Vietnam is a story of triumph and humanity of men rising against their country's worst impulses. Ryan's greatest act of resistance becomes his life, proving that the men who fought these wars can be more than weapons and fodder, but activists and paragons and fathers and grandfathers, thinking, feeling, beating hearts. So that's super up my alley. I love anything to do with Vietnam and the history of Vietnam. So yeah, I'll be picking that one up. And then here's another one called Sailing Alone Around the World. This is a graphic adaptation of Joshua Slocum's eponymous memoir, a classic account of early exploration and maritime literature. So it's a cartoon adaptation by John Buller of Joshua Slocum's, I'm guessing, previously released memoir. And it was, okay, so in April of 1895, Captain Slocum took off from Boston aboard a 36-foot wooden sloop that he renovated himself and proceeded to sail around the world. A 3-year voyage of more than 46,000 miles, becoming the first person to single-handedly circle the globe. Upon his return, he wrote a memoir of his voyage, recounting his adventures, hair-raising encounters with pirates off of Gibraltar, raging tempests, and treacherous coral reefs, which is brought to vivid graphic life by cartoonist John Buller. This will be a hardcover, 160 pages, black and white, 6.5 inches by 8.75. So I love that. So I'm assuming his memoir probably came out early 1900s. I've never heard of it. So it's cool to get a graphic novel adaptation. It's kind of preserving that in history with a new edition. And then we're getting Mickey Mouse, #1, legacy number 331. So it'll be the 331st Mickey Mouse comic ever. This is going to be a single issue. The Phantom Blot's Double Revenge. So the Phantom Blot is returning, if you're familiar with the classic Mickey Mouse comic. The rumors are true. Mickey is once again an epic hero with an incredible rogues gallery. In our debut tale by fan favorite Andrea Casti Castellan, Mickey's inky arch-enemy, the Phantom Blot, invades Mouseton with an army of its own citizens cloned. Can Mickey beat back lots of duplicate blots or figure out which Minnie he's dating tonight? All this in a new super goof backup story too. So there's 3 cover options as well, which is interesting. This is a single issue comic, and Fantagraphics, they did variant covers for Red Room, Ed Piscor's Red Room, but it's not something they do very often. I don't know who did this classic cover. I don't know if it's Floyd Gottfredson art or not, but there are 2 other variant covers. And that'll be 40 pages, soft cover single issue, full color. I'm assuming this is an ongoing series. They're also bringing back Uncle Scrooge in an ongoing single issue series as well, which is pretty cool. So those are new ones coming out from Fantagraphics. Please follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow me on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, all those platforms. I am Taylor Talks Comics. I have been releasing TikToks / Instagram Reels / YouTube Shorts of shorter form content. So check those out. Support that. Really appreciate that. I've been getting a good response on those. Definitely especially on Instagram. So I'm going to keep that up. But also I'm going to have longer form content on my YouTube channel, pre-recorded content. I'm going to do a video showing off all the Golden Age comics that I love. That was a request from a viewer saying that I always talk about Golden Age comics. Could I do a video on the ones that I love? Absolutely. Also, a video on Donald Duck Finds Pirate Gold. This is the first volume of the Carl Barks library. It's the most recent volume to come out because they released them out of order, but it is the first volume. So as the earliest Carl Barks Duck comics are in this volume. So yeah, TikTok, Instagram, I'll follow me all there. Also, if you're watching this on delay, on the replay, comment down below. I reply to all comments. Taylor, yes, I'll be back next Wednesday at noon Eastern, as I am here every Wednesday at noon Eastern live on Taylor Talks Comics Live. Thank you guys so much, and keep talking comics.